Hey there, it's Beth from Rock Your Notebook, and I am up with a mixed media tutorial using the Calico Collage Exquisite Dreamer kit. And today I am kind of revisiting my one little word for the year, which is balance. And I'm just going to art journal and document how I felt about bringing in my word for the year uh, through January and making that word present in my life. So what you see me doing here is I am using gesso to and scraping it on with just an old gift card that I've got, and I'm scraping that on both sides, but very 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 lightly on the actual piece from the Exquisite Dreamer kit that I ripped off. I really just wanted to dull it down a little bit, not a lot. And using this technique is a great way to add gesso and not have a huge thick layer of gesso on the page. So it dried fairly quickly and was really perfect for playing down the vibrant, beautiful colors, which I know is not something that I normally do with the kits when I'm working with them, but it's what I was going for today. I'm again using this script stamp from Kaiser Craft. I absolutely love this script stamp. I'm going to leave a link down below to where I got it from. This stamp is perfect for mixed media and stamping on the background and just getting that added texture and look to your page. And I really, really, really love the way the script stamping came out with the archival ink. It's a blue or teal. I don't know. I don't know what color it is, but I love archival ink because it's waterproof. And let me tell you all, I've got some water coming your way. So remember, I gessoed my page, meaning that now when I add watercolor to it, the watercolor is going to react completely different from how it would react as if I didn't have gesso on the page. If I had gesso on the page, the water would sink into this paper because it's mixed media paper, not watercolor paper. So it would be completely different. But I have gesso on it. So the gesso is kind of just going to sit on top of the page. It's not going to necessarily sink into the page, which means that I'm going to get this lovely look, and that the stamping that I did in the background is really going to shine through. So I'm using the Pink Fresh watercolors, which I also now have in my shop, and I'm using the lavender and the sapphire, and let me tell you, I was so happy with the end result of what I ended up getting with this um, mixed media thing that I've got going on. So I had a bunch of the blue left on my board here, and I really wanted that area to be a darker color, and that's why I really added a lot of the blue there in the bottom right hand side. And then I'm just going to take my heat gun and dry all of this. It's really important when working with different mediums and such to dry between the layers, especially when it's watercolor, because if I just kept going, I would just end up with a pool of water on the page, and that's not what I want. I want to get some color. I want it to be vibrant. I want it to not just be a pool of water. So I come back in with the purple because I felt like lavender. I felt like I really needed some more on the left hand side here, and then I even add a little bit kind of like all over. So what I'm doing is I've got the water all over the page so that you don't see any harsh marks of a water line, and it all just kind of flows together. And then here in the middle, I'm making my brush a thirsty brush, and it's picking up that excess water right there in the middle of the seam there. And that is such a great trick when you have like a lot of water, extra water on your page, to do that. My brush that you see me using today is my absolute favorite. It's the Be Mop brush in a size 0. This brush is absolutely amazing, and I will link it below for you as well. And then I grabbed some Stencil Girl stencils, and let me tell you all, if I could buy every single Stencil Girl stencil that was ever made, I surely would. They are just stunning stencils and so different from what you normally see. So I'm using this Stencil Girl stencil, and I'm stenciling the lady on with some Payne's Gray. And I'm using the sponge because I wanted it to have texture, and that texture is definitely what I got. I was so happy with the end results of that. And then I'm going to grab a Donna Downey alphabet stencil that I have, and I'm going to stencil in my word of the year as soon as I get this dry, because I don't want to mess any of that up. In hindsight, the only thing I wish is, if you see on the very top of her head where I kind of like went outside of the stencil, I wish I hadn't done that. That was an accident, and I thought I would be able to get rid of it, and I wasn't able to. So here I am stenciling on my word of the year, which is balance, because I so need some balance in my life. I got burnt out last year, and I do not want to do that again this year. And this here, what you see me, I added a little bit of water to where the paint kind of came outside of the stencil, and because it wasn't dry yet, I was able to make it kind of disappear into the page, which was perfect. And if I had been smart, I would have done that on the top of my lady's head, but I didn't. Next, I'm going to fix that, because you see it's so in your face. And I fix it. I can still see it. It bothers me, but I'm just going to roll with it. So I put some gesso, and then I dunk my finger in the leftover watercolor that I had on my table. And then I'm going to dry everything here, and I'm going to add some journaling to this layout. Messy journaling, because that's the whole point. You know, it's not to really read it. I mean, obviously I can, but the whole point is just to get those thoughts and words out of my head. And that is what I did using an envelope writing pen. And this is the broad one. And this is great for mixed media pages, so I highly recommend it. All right, thanks for watching. I will leave links to everything down below. I appreciate all of your support, and bye.